Dangers and uses of radiation. Right, alpha, beta and gamma are known as ionizing radiations. Now what this means is that if they hit any atoms or go into atoms, they can either knock off electrons or rip off electrons because they've got a very strong charge of one sort or another. And this can cause tumours and cancers. That sort of coloured line there is supposed to represent DNA. An electron being knocked off, and then the cell, the atom that's left behind is ionized, it's got a charge, and so therefore it will combine with other things that it's not supposed to, and perhaps lead to mutations and cause tumours and cancers. So that ionizing is basically when you give an atom a charge, and that can then lead to tumours and cancers. You need to know about how dangerous alpha, beta and gamma are inside and outside the body. Well, alpha on the whole outside of the body is not a problem because it'll get stopped by your skin quite easily. It possibly may cause some slight burns, but on the whole it's not seen as dangerous, too dangerous outside the body. If you've got a substance that is giving out alpha radiation inside your body, that is really, really bad news, because it means that the alpha particles are leaving that radioactive source and they're going into your body and they're being stopped immediately, which means that the alphas are wrecking your body. They're wrecking the lining of your stomach, of your intestines, of your lungs, and that would be catastrophic. Beta particles, well, outside the body they're quite dangerous, and inside the body they're quite dangerous. They will be stopped by your body. Remember, it does get stopped by a metre of air, so obviously flesh is going to be quite bad for it. Gamma radiation, you've got to treat with a bit of respect. Most of it will just simply go straight through your body. It won't be affected by it, but some of it will be ionising some cells there. So again, you've got to be careful with gamma radiation. What do we use radiations for? Well, one classic example is measuring the thickness of materials. This could be loo paper or aluminium foil, anything that needs to be produced to a certain thickness. And what you tend to do is have on one side a radioactive source, underneath it you have a detector, and obviously if the paper or aluminium gets thicker, less radiation get through, and so therefore a computer would automatically say, oh crikey, this paper's got thicker, and the rollers would be adjusted to squeeze this substance down to make it thinner. Of course, if loads of radiation was getting through, it would tell it, my crikey, we're producing stuff that's too thin, and the rollers would be adjusted to produce thicker stuff. So you can use it to measure thickness. You can also use radioactive sources for medical traces. A barium meal, for example, is sometimes drunk. It's a liquid which has got some barium in it, which is radioactive, that gives out gamma radiation. You wouldn't let it give out alpha or beta because that would wreck your system. So barium meals give out gamma radiation, and this gamma radiation passes through your body and can be detected by scanners outside of it. The use of this is that it shows whether your digestive system's got any blockages, any leakages, any problems in there. You can use it for things like your digestive system, but also your blood system as well can be used. So in the past, I've seen radioactive sources injected into horses, and the radioactive, the blood system carries the radioactive sources to where there may be a tumour which needs loads of blood. And if you get a big build-up somewhere of radioactivity, you know, crikey, it's all gathering there. Wonder what's causing that. You often hear about smoke detectors. Smoke detectors will have an alpha source in there. Remember that alpha can only get through about 5 centimetres of air. But of course, if there's a fire in there and you've created loads of smoke, the smoke will stop the alpha sources reaching it, and the alarm will go off. And we also use radioactivity for radioactive dating. There's a video all about this later on. So uranium turns to lead, carbon-14 changes to nitrogen-14, at a predictable rate that we can use for dating. We also use radioactivity for sterilizing. In other words, taking tools that if we want to kill any germs in it, we blast it with radiation and it kills all the germs on it. The key words are ionizing. You should know what that means, that we're basically knocking off electrons to give atoms charges. Tracers, that was the barium meal. Sterilization, which is destroying all the germs on anything, sterilization. Cancer being caused by radiation, and radioactive dating as well. And those are the dangers and uses of radiation.